Question. Am I the only one that's sick and tired of all the chaos, all the lawlessness that we see in America? I know I can't be the only one that's constantly angry because there's no justice. Once again, we're getting screwed with the whole Charlie Kirk trial. We know who was responsible. And I'm particularly pointing at the LGBTQIA plus fascist child groomers and all the other satanic socialists. And we know that there was more than one shooter. Tyler, whatever his face, he was just a distraction. They try to blame it on Israel. They try to blame it on Erica Kirk, because they're all trying to distract from the fact that it's these leftist fascists. Because Charlie Kirk was a threat. Because he told truths that they didn't want to hear and they didn't want to get out. And that's it. That's what it was about. They're saying no bullets match up and all of that garbage. That's a lie. We know nothing's getting pushed forward because we know that the satanic socialist pedophiles and all this other satanic socialist scum are in positions of power that they should not be in. That's the reason why the Epstein files is not getting pushed forward. They're not going to do anything about it. Too many of them in government. They want to blame Trump, with that one. But, that's what they do. They accuse others of that which they are guilty of and tell lies and make them big lies and tell them often until someone believes them. What the truth is the reason why they weaponized the DOJ against Trump is because Trump was the one that exposed Epstein as a pedophile. He was the one that started the investigation into Epstein. That's the reason why they did what they did with weaponizing the DOJ. Like I said, they accuse others of that which they are guilty of. That's what satanic socialist scum do. Accuse. The truth is there's never going to be any justice because many of these people out here, including people that call themselves conservatives, and they're not real conservatives, they're fake conservatives, won't put away their fears and their socialist religions of tolerance and political correctness and remove the satanic socialist scum from our republic. They won't do it. Even the church has embraced this satanic socialist religious nonsense. And it's only going to get worse and worse. On top of that, we have a problem with people on the internet spreading fear-mongering and lies to keep you in fear so you won't resist your government masters and won't resist evil. Fearfulness and ignorance are the two greatest weapons that the deep state has. That's the reason why they dumb our kids down in schools and universities, because they want to keep them ignorant, stupid. It makes for good little useful idiots, slaves, and fearfulness. You know, they never let a tragedy go to waste. Look at COVID. Isn't it funny, you know, that I disappeared for a while? You want to know why? Because they obliterated my YouTube channel. They kicked me off Facebook because I made the connections between January 6th and the stolen election and the fake pandemic and all that was going on. It's all connected. It started out with the fake pandemic that was nothing but seasonal flu and cold and pneumonia. Because no one ever heard of COVID before 2020. They were calling it coronavirus. Before they called it COVID. They were doing that until we started pointing out that coronavirus is actually it's nothing but a cold virus. So they changed it to the scary sounding COVID SARS-2. Then what they did is they weaponized the fear, and they shut everything down because it was all about stealing the election and installing a fake president, which they did. Their goal was ultimately to try to create a one world government by implementing socialism in the United States, but that can never happen, not yet anyway. That won't happen till after the rapture of the church, when the Antichrist comes to power. But they couldn't do it also because they couldn't get around the Constitution, and they couldn't get around the American people that outnumbers and outguns them. See, that's what they do. They create fear. You know, it's like I was saying about this garbage where you see in all these Islamic, fascist, satanic, socialist, devil worshippers and all these commie scumbags saying that they're going to implement their socialist garbage in America. Sorry, but truthfully, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because it can't happen. It won't happen. They can't get around the Constitution, for one. And then, you know, there's other laws that we have on the book, like the McCarran-Walters Act, the Communist Control Act. Well, I can name quite a few. But mostly everything that you see right now, it has to do with creating fear and controlling the population. The main goal is to get everybody in a fearful state of mind, keep them weak, make them dependent on government, while they're also trying to set up everything for a one-world socialist government, which the Bible calls the Antichrist system. Like I said, it comes after the rapture of the true church. Personally, I believe that the reason why all these things is happening because the church refuses to be the church. You know, we are in the Laodicean church age. If the church would start acting like the church, and Americans would start acting like Americans, like they used to, we wouldn't even have these problems anymore. The truth is that America is one of the countries that is the most resistant to the one world socialist government system. Have you ever noticed how much they hate America? You ever notice how much they're trying to take America down? You want to know why? Well, it's because we resist. They hate us because we won't capitulate. We won't give up our rights and our freedoms. Well, just something to think about. But, you know, I keep saying it over and over. And I guess I'll have to keep saying it over and over. Fear is how they control you. Like I said, you know, it's the reason why you have all these people online spreading all this garbage about how government's all powerful and can't be resisted. And it'll continue so long as you don't fight back. The truth is that the evil that you tolerate is the evil that you condone. Well, till next time.